Hello, my creative friends on the internet. How you are doing? I hope you are well and you actually enjoyed my previous tutorial. So today I'm going to show you guys how to. It's just basic, but I think other persons might find it useful too. So this is how to create play audio within your Flutter application, and I'm also going to show you how to okay, let's just start with. I'm going to show you how to play audio in your Flutter application. So that audio will be stored in your local, like in your project. You can still use. I'm also going to show you a method, but I won't test it. But I'm just going to show you a method that you can maybe you use Path Provider to load movies or videos from sorry, music from your local storage. You can also play it, and you can still play audio again from your URL. And with that, I'm also going to show you some issues I ran into while trying to play audio for the first time in my Flutter application. So let's get started. Now you can see this is just a simple basic application. So what I'm going to do here is just to create a dummy. I'm just going to create a button like a UI with play, play, pause, and play, pause, and stop. Okay, is it pause? Just play and stop button. Okay, for now. So I'm just gonna leave all this stuff because it's just dummy stuff, so I won't really change any of that. So what I would do, I will just create a role here. So it's gonna be a row or a column. Yeah, I prefer column, so let it be a column. Then I'll create two buttons. Yeah, just two buttons. Okay, so one is gonna be all right. So that stuff is hiding. I can't find. Okay, see where it went there. So I think I'll just align it to. Let's see where it's aligned. Start. So I think I'll just put it to end. Yeah, this is better, but it needs some space, so I can just use size box too. Then let me just change the text and the icon. So this is going to be play, and this is going to be stop, and we can change this to stop, and this one to play, like so. Play arrow, play arrow, yeah. And the button, instead of this increment counter, I think we can go up here and change this stuff. So this is just going to be play, play audio, yeah. And this is just going to be play audio. So copy that and replace it with that button down below. So this one is for play. I'm just creating a function now, and this one is going to be for stop audio. Okay, so if you're building a music player, hope you know you're going to have play and pause, so depending on how you want to do it. So I will have this one here for stopping audio and for playing audio. So this is the for playing the audio, and this is for stopping the audio. So to test that button, let's just print out something to be sure that it's working, and print out something else here to be sure it's also working. So let's see what happens when we click on each of the buttons. So play works, and let's see stop, and stop works. All right, so this is it. So the next step now is to depend on it. So what we are going to, when I mean by depending, I mean adding dependency, like the audio player dependency into our prospect.yml file. So currently now you can see the prospect.yml file has only Cupertino icons. So we need to go to a browser and search for audio player 0.20.1, which is the latest version I'm using. So the best way I normally add this is, okay, just go to installing, and and scroll down. You're going to see this command, flutter pop add audio players. So you can just copy it, go to your code, and to terminal. Okay, paste it there. All right, so give this a little time for it to load. And don't forget, this is actually a plugin, it's not a package. So you are required to kill the app and then rebuild it again when the stuff completes, so that you, in order to avoid platform exception, while trying to call the audio player. So you need to do that. All right. So once this thing finish, I'm going to review the app again. All right. I think I also need to show my app where it's at. Okay. Okay, just wait for it to build. But before we do that, before we key the app, I'm going to add assets because I'm going to play the music. I'm going to be playing the music from the local store, from the project. So I'm going to store the audio right here. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is to create an asset folder where you're going to store your musics. If you have more than 100, whichever one, just name them. You can add them there, and then you go down to your assets here. So we can just uncomment this and then change this stuff to assets like so. And once you do that, we are going to add the music here, the music player here. So what I'll do, I'll just open this in my folder so that I'll be able to copy it easily. Alright, so this stuff is open. Let's go back. So this is my assets. I already have where I store the music, so I'll just go to my music, copy this, okay, and go back here and paste it inside here. So the name is music.mp3. You can have as many music as you want. It doesn't matter. You can have like 50, 10, yeah, but make sure that you shrink them because they might make your app so large. Okay, so you want to be careful about that. All right, so I also need to close this. You want to be careful about that. Okay, so right now you can see the music has been added. So what I will do, I'll just kill this app now. Okay, and then I will review it again. So while this is launching, I'm just going to explain a little thing about the audio player. So this, we have already installed it. Let's go to the readme file. So if you go here now, you'll see that before you can use this plugin, you need to create an instance of audio player, and it also has a property which is a mode of play mode.low. It actually have two play mode. One is for music player and the low latency. So the low latency is always used for gaming. Let's say you're building a gaming application now, then you use low latency. What it does, it will reduce the sound of the music to a moderate level, okay, to and the music will, if the music was 3 minutes, it's going to shrink it, like it's going to cut it short. Once, if it's 3 minutes, it might be like let's say like 30 seconds, yeah, so it won't play the whole music. But if you're building a music player, you can just leave it like this default, which is by default it uses play mode dot music player. Okay, so you want to leave it that way, and that way it's not going to reduce the music. Your volume, your phone control volume will be able to control the highness, the lowness of the music, and also the music will play complete. And this is log enabled. I haven't used that before, but you can check it out, and you can see if you want to play audio player from the URL. What you use is just audioplayer.play. Remember, you already created the instance here. Audioplayer.play URL. So you just pass the URL of the music. If you are streaming it online, just pass the streaming URL, and it's going to start playing. You can still use audioplayer.stop to still stop any running music. So if you also want to play locally, okay, so what you just need to do, still the same process, audioplayer.play, but you need to await it. You can see the async and await. So you use audioplayer.play, then you pass your local path. Let's assume you already fetch that local path using path provider in your Flutter app. So you just pass the local path here and set is local to true. Okay, you can see this one by default is local is false. Okay, that's why it's playing through URL. But if it's local, you set it to true, then it will know how to process it and play it for you. Then this is if you are using byte data. Let's say you need int 64 encoding, 8 list, I don't know, stuff like that. You can just pass audioplayer.play bytes. Or the method, you can still stop it with audioplayer.stop. This is audioplayer.pause to pause the music, audioplayer.stop, audioplayer.seek to a certain duration, audioplayer.resume after pausing it. Okay, so that's just a few of them. And audioplayer.release. So if you're exiting the screen, you need to exit the audio player to just show that you're no more using it. But the method we are going to be using is audio catch to play our music. The reason is that our music is not coming from local storage, our music is not coming from URL. It's actually stored within our project. So we need to use audio catch. So what audio catch actually does is this. You can see audio player, you create your audio player, and sorry, let me go down a little bit. I think I can't find that. I can't find it here, but if you see, in order to play local assets, you must use the audio catch class. You cannot use audio player like audio player.play, and then it only works for local parts and URL. But for audio catch, they say it's not available for Flutter Web. Okay, but what it does is that it provides an easy way to play assets in your Flutter application. So whenever you use audio catch and then pass the music player, like the assets music, into the part, what it does, it creates a local part behind the scene. Like it creates a local part from your app root storage, root parts. It creates the local part, so the music, while playing it, it will be as if it's already stored in your phone. Okay, so it will not play it from there. So that's what audio catch does. That's all for this video player. And if you can just go through their readme to understand perfectly how it works. So without further ado, let's get back to our project. Okay, so I said I was going to run this. I don't know why it didn't run. Let's see the issue. Okay, so they said I need to, my Kotlin version, your project requires a newer version of Kotlin Grade. Okay, I think this audio player needs a newer version of Kotlin. So let's see, find the latest version on. Okay, then update it on. Okay, so let's do that real quick. I'm going to click on this link. I think it should open my browser. All right, so from there I will be able to see the new version. Okay, so this is the new version, which is 1.6.10. So I'll just copy that and go back to my project. So right in my project, they said I should go to, okay, Android build.gradle. So just collapse Android and go to build.gradle, and you should see Kotlin version. So you have to replace that. Okay, remove it and add this latest one. All right, so that's good. And now we rebuild again. So we just hope this one runs. It's definitely going to run, so give it time. Okay, so moving on now, we have added the dependency. We have also added, we have increased our Kotlin version with that error that was showing, so that one is fixed now. And we have also, what did we do again? We added the music player asset. Okay, so now going back to our main menu. So what I'm main.dat. What we are going to do now is to create the instance of the audio player, so that in order to utilize it. So what I normally do is just to create, let's just call this one audio player. So I will create a null. For now it's going to be null. Is it audio? Yeah, audio player, and we can call this one audio player. All right, and then I'll create audio cache. Remember, we are going to be using audio cache to play our music. Okay, so is this thing not imported? I thought I imported it. Okay, I didn't, so I'm going to import it real quick. All right, and then I'll create an audio cache. It's going to be a late initialization, so I'll just use late audio cache, and we can call this audio cache. All right, so that's it. And then next, we need to initialize this audio cache. Whenever the user open the app, yeah, we need to initialize it. So I can just call init state here. Okay, call init. All right, and that would do. So we can now create, initialize the audio player here, like so. All right, so remember, there's no need using a mode of low latency because we are not building a game application. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, media player. If you want to set a player ID too, you can set it, but I don't normally advise that. Just leave it the way it is. Then secondly, we are going to create an audio cache, initialize the audio cache, and then pass the audio player to it. So I'll create audio cache, and it takes a fixed player, and now we can pass the audio player inside there. So we have registered this audio player to this audio cache. All right, so that's it. But we need to, since it's something we are initializing, we need to wrap this inside set state. Okay, and that's why I use a stateful widget. Okay, we need to wrap it inside set state. All right, so that's it. Yeah, So now what we need to do now is to write a function that will play the audio and another function to stop the audio. So we already have our functions. So what I'll do is just to call audio player. Assuming we are using local file, we can just use audio player.play, okay, and then the URL. But if it's local file, we can just pass the path and then audio player. Remember, we need to put, since it's nullable, so we can put, then if it's local, we can set it to true, like so. But this link is going to be either your URL, your local path, or if it's from a URL, it's going to be URL, and you don't need this. Okay, you can see the play has stay awake, dock audio, recording active, volume. You can set the volume, is local and all those stuff. But since we are not working with local paths or URL, we're going to be using audio cache. So I use audio cache.play. So .play, you can now pass the file name. So the file name is what? Music.mp3. Don't worry, you don't need to add assets before the music.mp3. Just add it direct. It's going to figure that out. Music.mp3. But if you want to make it to be looping, like once it's finished, you want it to return again from the beginning, you can use loop and to play it. But in this case, I'll just use play. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, this will just play the music for us. But while playing the music, we also need to stop it, right? Yeah, we need to stop it. It's very important. You don't just play music and play. So we need to stop it. To stop it, we don't use the audio cache. We use the audio player. Okay, we use audio player dot stop. Yeah. And another thing again you need to know is to avoid the music player from, let's say you click on play and then you click on play again. What happens? It will now start playing that recent one on top of the initial one. You play again, it will not be playing not on continuous songs. So what you have to do, if you click on play, first of all stop the initial one before you play another one. Yeah, so this is actually how I do my own stuff, and it works for me. So I don't know if it's the best way, but you can still try it out. Then once everything is done, you also want to dispose it. Yeah, you also want to dispose it, and to dispose it, you just write your audio player dot dispose. Okay, don't forget that. And I think we are good, and I'm going to do a hot restart here and the music plays. Let me increase my volume a little bit. Okay, and hot restart is done, right? Okay, so let's see. Play. Can you hear the sound? Let's click on stop. I just stopped. Let's click on play again. Let's click on play again. It will stop it and then play it again. Stop and play again. This is just cool, yeah. And you can experiment with resume. You can experiment with, yeah, whichever one. And pause, resume and pause. So that's your own task for you to work on. And yeah, remember you can also get the duration of this music. So yeah, let me stop that. It's making noise. You can actually get the duration as well. And I think the way to get the duration is more like using, let's see if we can add it to this counter. So the counter is going to be the duration. So let's see if we can actually listen to this stuff. Audio player. I have not tried this before, but let's see. Get duration. Okay, let's say get duration. All right. And then is an asynchronous call. Yep. And let's say if we can set it to the counter. Okay, so this counter now is, instead of it being an integer, is going to be a string. Yeah, that value, I don't know what it's returning, but I think it's actually returning, it's a string. Okay, it's an integer too. Oh, let's convert it to a string. Yep. So I just hope it shows the duration of the music while it's playing. Type int is not a function. Okay, let's do a hot restart. Okay, Let's just do a hot restart there to fix that stuff. Alright, hot restart, you can see the 0 is gone. So let's play it to see if it's going to get the duration. You didn't get it. Because I said I've not tried this stuff before, but you can actually experiment to see what you get. Okay. Okay, it's not actually okay. My bad. So let me stop it. Okay, yeah, my bad. So what I'm supposed to do inside build, I don't normally put stuff inside build method, but for this sake and putting set state inside build, is it a good practice? I'm not sure if this is a good practice. I'm not sure. But let's see. I'm not sure if that is a good practice. There should be a better way of doing that instead of because I don't normally write any other function inside build method. It's more like outside. But let's see what happens. Play. Error. Okay, this is the duration. Let's see if you can actually get the current like if you want to use, let's say you want to use show them in a progress indicator. So let's say it gets current position, yeah, dot then gets current position. Let's assign it to this counter value dot okay, I'm gonna remove this, save it, and let's see if it's gonna get. Okay, this is the current duration. It's in form of a second. Is it seconds or minutes? I don't know. Stop, 0, and start. Okay, it's in milliseconds. So this is the current duration as it's going. So you can actually add this to your progress indicator. Comparing it to the get duration is going to be the length, like the final length of the progress indicator, and then the counter, which is the gets current position, is going to be the progress of the progress indicator. Yeah, so you can actually try that out to see what you can come up with. A basic task, which I believe in you guys, you can actually do that. So this is just a simple way of playing audio from cache in your Flutter application. I'm definitely going to add this to my GitHub repo and you can see the code. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video.